everyone. My name is Kezia.
My name is Keandra.
My name is Jesse.
My name is Jaden.
And my name is Carlena.
And today we are going to be covering the songs from Shoulder to Shoulder, the last two songs that we have left. It's track 1 and track 7. So we'll be doing 1 and 7 today. But before we get into it, let's roll the intro.
There is a new name written down in glory, and it's mine. Yes, it's mine. I've met the author of my story, and he's mine. Yes, he's mine. And even if I stand alone, I will stand for you. Even when my strength is gone, you're the one I'll hold on to. You are all I need.
It was a cold night on the... Okay. It was actually morning. So, Mom and I think the girls were listening to the songs for the CD. So I came out. The song was playing. The first verse was good. And then the chorus was just... It was just incredible. Almost brought me to tears. And I heard the song. I was like, this song has to go on the CD.
You missed the most important part.
What?
Jaden was lying down. Jaden got up. He was just like, we gotta do this song.
And not that, it's bad or anything, but Jesse and Jaden are usually more... Actually, I'll just say Jaden because I think you're a little bit higher on the scale. But Jaden, he's a little bit more laid back in the song choices and stuff like that. Jaden actually picking a song, we knew that was definitely a sign. This song, it has to go. But this song, I think it's really a special song to our family. And it has a great message. I would say we're kind of like balanced in terms of like our beliefs and stuff like that. Like we've grown up. It's somewhat conservative, but I would say some of the things that we have, learned, well, not learned, but been used to growing up. Some of those things we don't necessarily agree with. Some of the things, and we're not talking specifically about our parents, just conservative things. But then we're definitely not extremists, and not too liberal as well. I would say that we're quite balanced on certain things, different perspectives on different things. I think that opens us up to a lot of different people, which is not a bad thing. But I think people often have certain perceptions of us and stuff like that. I won't go into too much detail, but there was even a time the other day that somebody was talking to us about some clothes and stuff like that, and that we're old enough to, have it be a little adventurous and stuff like that. And personally, that I think a lot of people think that our beliefs and our way we deport ourselves is mainly because of our parents or because of the church we grew up in. But I believe, like most of us, if not all of us, have come to our own conclusions and come to our own reasons for the things that we believe in. So this song is especially important to us as young people because sometimes it feels like we are standing alone. The things that we believe in, or the things that we stand for, it can sometimes feel like we're the only ones, the odd ones out. Even last night I was talking to a friend on the phone, and he said that, yeah, that's true, but you're not a normal woman at the same time. So yeah, but yeah, so even like some of our friends would see us as different, as not necessarily being your typical young person. And so sometimes it really feels like we can be standing alone, but I believe that most of us, our stands come from our love for God and our belief in Him. I know for myself, a lot of the things I believe in, it's not because of pressure from other people. It's not because of this is how my parents said I should do it. A lot of the choices that I have made and continue to keep are because of my love for God, my belief in God, and that He has a way that He would love me to live and to kind of like be a light to others. And so even if I stand alone, even if it seems like the social norms are looking at us in a certain way, I will still do what God has called me to and live in the truth that He has proclaimed, because the truth is the truth. Like I could even say, like even for Carlena, you would think that because Carlena is the youngest of us, that she'd be The
rebel.
Yes.
She's not.
Actually,
the
she's
rebel.
not the youngest. There's one more on the way.
There's no more on the way.
No, there's no more.
She's not the rebel.
No, there's no
I
more.
won't tell you which
on
one
the
of
way.
us is though.
But yeah, Carlina has, certain ways about herself. Actually, you know what? I won't even. I'll let you go ahead and talk about yourself because
Well, one of the things that I agree on, because my parents taught me, and I think as well after some years, that this is the way that God would want me to be. Well, sometimes not sometimes. If you like go in my closet or go in a suitcase or my backpack, there is no there is no dress that I have. And I don't wear many dress, let's just say that. But I don't have a dress where it's like just like what kind of sleeves? What kind of
Sleeveless?
like sleeveless. Like I have up to here at least, and then I'm like full down, and that goes for my skirts. Like before we were filming, JC said that he said that my skirts that they'll always be long for me. But yes, I always wear like long clothes if anything. Yeah, it's one of the things that
yeah.
I'm not a rebel about.
Even when Carlina was younger, it's really funny because like she, even just the feeling of wearing clothes that is just like, and it's not even really short or anything like that, and she's just like, oh my gosh, I feel naked.
No. I think the funniest thing is
Yeah.
like sometimes we'll wear like a leggings with the dress, and if she's wearing a leggings and the dress reaches right here or on the knee, Carlina's like, I'm naked, I'm not wearing it. I'm just like, Carlina, you have on full clothes, like your legs are covered double. She's naked.
Yeah, so I think there are certain things that, we abide by or... Yeah, so I think it's safe to say that, we have certain things that we stand for, like modesty, abstinence, and a whole bunch of different stuff that, we have decided to adhere to by our own decisions, in a sense. And it can sometimes be quite, I wouldn't even say it's lonely. I don't want to say it's intimidating either. But you can definitely feel like sometimes I don't even say it's necessarily pressure, but you can definitely sense people's attention being put on you and stuff like that. But I think we're all determined that no matter what it is, once we believe these things to be true, that we will stand for these things and choose the path that honors God. And if I'm supposed to say one more thing on this, I know that, and I usually say this before we sing this song in public, but nowadays things are becoming increasingly crazy, and a lot of things are becoming normal and becoming accepted in society. And I'm sure it's just about time before we start becoming persecuted for the things that we believe in. I'm not just talking about us as a group, I'm talking about Christians in general. And, maybe not even Christians too, because there are people who are not Christians who still believe some of the things that we believe. There's coming a time when people will be persecuted for the stuff that they believe to be right. And furthermore, Christians will be persecuted because we believe in the Bible, because we believe in God, and that what God says is the truth. So, I wouldn't be surprised if in the future that, there will be a lot of persecution on people all over the world. But we're hoping that, this song will be a reminder, will be an encouragement to you that no matter what comes in the future, no matter what comes our way, whether it's, facing jail time, whether it's facing, being tortured, or even being, separated, not necessarily separated, I can't remember the word I'm talking about, but like when you are kind of shunned from our families, from our churches, or from our communities, no matter what it is that we'll face, that together we'll be able to stand up and say, I will stand for God, and I will stand for the truth and what I believe that the Lord has, declared as truth. That no matter what it is that we will face, whether we lose our jobs, whether we even lose our homes, or even if it comes to the point that we might lose our lives, that, God will be the priority in our life. and that, you know, we will give of our best.
Shoulder to shoulder, we will go forward, united together as one. Will not be divided, will not be defeated, as a family we'll keep.
Alright, this next song we're going to talk about is track number 1 from the album Shoulder to Shoulder, entitled Shoulder to Shoulder. And I know what you're thinking right now. We are a terrible depiction of that because
Hey yo. Hey yo.
we tried singing it on stage and tried this little action where we go shoulder to shoulder, but it was more like shoulder to knee ratio. So
Someone's sleeping in the doghouse
but
tonight.
this song has a great message, just talking about, you know, us brothers and sisters encouraging one another, reaching other people also, just to help each other make it home, make sure that we live our lives to please God to the best of our abilities, and when He comes again, we can all go home to be with the Lord. And yeah, I know the comments are gonna be saying the boys need to talk some more. I'm telling you, we are like Moses 2.0. We don't do the talking. That's not our gift.
I hate how true that is. It's just like, you know, the Lord has called the Chitans. Oh, but I will give you Kezia for a mouthpiece. All right.
Hallelujah.
Oh boy.
Come on, Aaron.
All right. So now I'm gonna get into the tough part of this. So, I'm gonna preface this with, respectfully, I am asking that we do not take this into a political debate, because that's not what we are talking about. I'm going to give an example, just so you know where we're coming from. But yeah, this is not a political debate. So when we were pitched this song, we were kind of feeling,
We were wary.
yeah, we were very weary of this song, because with all that has gone on in the past few years, there have been some attempts at an appearance of unity, right? And yeah, like I said, I don't want to go too deep into everything, but when we really started to get into like the main circles and stuff, there was a lot of things that we saw that were, I don't know if I can't speak for the others, but they were kind of disheartening for me. And it was a tough thing to go through. Like, I'm not going to say that everything we saw was taken from the same place of kind of, I don't even know, ill intent. I wouldn't say it was all taken from the same place of ill intent.
Like, some of it was purposeful, some of it wasn't.
Yeah, and some of them was just the passion of certain people. But it really gave us a sense of not being wanted. Like we were in a place that we did not belong. Even though it wasn't specifically targeted to us as a group, but it's something that we are a part of. And it really made it a not completely enjoyable experience. A lot of the other things was very enjoyable and something that we really were blessed to encounter. But for some of the other things, it was more, it was very uncomfortable. There was even a time, like, you know, I was sitting in the audience and heard somebody say something from the stage that I never thought I would hear from myself in my lifetime. And to hear the people around me, like, agreeing with what was said and even, like, taking it a step further. I remember the next day we were, you know, sitting listening to one of the preachers, and he was, I don't even remember exactly the whole thing, but he was talking about a situation with his wife and everything like that, and her testimony. And I remember Kendra and I were both sitting in like the artist lounge, and we're listening, and I remember we were both crying, because I know that night before it was like at a cap for me. I was just like, I don't.
Rough.
Yeah, it was rough. I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be in a place where I'm not wanted. I'll come back to that thought later, but you know, that was a rough place to be in. And I remember we were sitting there, and I'm going to call just this one name because she really was a blessing to the both of us. But I remember Deborah Talley came, and she was, I don't know what the Lord told her. I don't know what was impressed upon her heart, but she just came over to us and she wrapped her arms around both of us, and she said, I just want to let you know that I am so glad that you are here. And she said that, we are so happy to have you here, and we are so blessed, and just want to encourage you in the Lord that you continue. And then she prayed over the both of us right there. And I don't know that if she will ever know exactly what she did for us in that moment. That was like God himself coming and giving us a hug and just telling us, just keep persevering and keep pushing through it all. Because at that moment, like, that was the end of the road for me. I was like, I don't want to do this again. But I bring all these things around to say that, God has blessed us to not just see, some of the things that, weren't great, but also the people that are genuine and, striving to be Christ-like in everything. So, like, I said I won't call any other names, but the Tallies for sure. Definitely people who are genuine in their way of presenting things. There are quite a few others, and I don't want to start naming names so that you start wondering, okay, the name she didn't call, whatever. But I bring this all around to say that we can allow the things that people have gone through or the things that are going on in our world to take a hold of us. I know in the beginning of last year, I remember all of us, we were sitting inside the back room, and we were just having a discussion on, the things, the deeper things. Like, we don't really talk about too many deeper things because we're not quite political, and we don't want to exclude other people from the things that we have to offer. We believe that, our personal preferences or personal opinions should not hinder people from being able to hear about the fact that God loves them and wants to see them, saved in his kingdom. But we were talking about, the different issues that were going on in the world. And we're trying to figure out, like, what is our duty as being, ministers, as being people of influence, as influencers, as people would say. What is our duty to God and to mankind? What are we supposed to say? What are we not supposed to say? What are things that we need to address? And like over the last year, it has really been impressed upon my mind that it is important that we speak, and I think this would have probably been more pertinent in the section for Even If I Stand Alone, that when we don't speak up as Christians and we don't say the things that God, thus saith the Lord, right? It leaves the floor open to the interpretations of those who do not have the full truth. When we do not speak up and we say, this is what's right, this is what is appropriate, blah, 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 then it gives it an open space for the first person that speaks. And no, we don't need to be the first person on everything, but the first person who speaks is usually the person that dominates the conversation and starts it going in a direction. And when we do not speak, especially things that are right, for people who are not educated on, what the Lord, what His will for our lives is, if people are not educated on those things, they will gravitate to the person that is seeming to give them an answer, because that's what the world is looking for. They have questions and they need answers. But when we don't speak up and we let, other people go first, it opens the world up to, the answers that just might not be right. So throughout this year, we've been kind of, trying to figure out, what is it? What is our duty? What are we supposed to say? What are we not supposed to say? And praying about those things. And I know for myself, I've done a lot of searching, a lot of thinking, and and all sorts of different things. And sometimes, the main apprehension for me with this song is that we didn't want people to take it as us just sucking up or us just putting out an appearance of unity or an appearance of,
an appeasing song.
Or an appeasing song, or something trendy, or if it was something that's kind of like
a political song. It's honestly not.
But I think the word I'm trying to get at is like, it's not a song to make it seem like every one of us is chummy. This is something that we genuinely believe, that God has made us all, and it doesn't matter what our background is. It doesn't matter how much money we make. It doesn't matter what our race is. It doesn't matter what denomination we are, well, to an extent, but it doesn't matter, where we've been. We are here on this earth to be brothers and sisters to everyone. Each one of us, we are brothers and sisters. And we cannot make it home without the help of each other. We cannot, make it home with ill feelings in our hearts. It doesn't matter what has happened in the past. We need to learn how to forgive and move forward. Whether we move forward together or we move forward separately.
Yeah, and one thing I want to say about that, as you said it, I'm just like, click. And that's exactly what God meant when, I think, I can't remember where exactly Jesus was preaching, and he was saying, like, if you come to offer a sacrifice on the altar and you have ill will to your brother, leave your offering there. Go make up, forgive, and then come back. The fact that it's so important, that it's better that you forgive than you give an offering to God in that sense. Not that it's not good to give God offerings. He wants you to fix what's going wrong first before you come to him, because he's willing to forgive you, but if you're not willing to forgive your fellow man, why should he forgive you?
And, it doesn't have to start off as chummy. It doesn't necessarily have to end that way too, but once there is, love in between all of us, that is what God wants, because we are called to love. He doesn't want us to fake it. And even if we decide, that we will forgive and we will come together, it doesn't mean that we have to, do everything now together, because each of us have our separate callings. But the most important thing is that we recognize that we are all children of God. We all are important to God, and we are put on this earth to love each other, to help each other, to be the hands and feet of Jesus. And it doesn't stop at people who are just like me, or people who are just like him, or people who are just like, people who are old, people who are young. It doesn't stop there. We are all called to love each and every one of each other. So, just to reiterate what I said at the beginning, I don't want there to be any political comments or anything like that, because that's not what we're talking about. We're basically talking about the fact that, in spite of everything that goes on in life, we choose to make it home shoulder to shoulder. All right, so we have come to our conclusion of this episode. We hope that, not just this episode,
So the conclusion of the Shoulder to Shoulder album.
yeah, the Shoulder to Shoulder, at least album, like the snippets of each of the songs. But we still have one more Shoulder to Shoulder still have one more Shoulder to Shoulder episode to give you. This episode is going to be a compilation of everything. So it might be long, might be not, might be split up in 3. I do not know. But we have at least one more episode. This episode, what we're going to do is going to show you the whole process. So we're going to start from, the picking of the songs, the arranging, the tracking, recording, photo shoots, everything, right? So yeah, it's going to be a little bit of everything. So we are really excited about that, but I would say don't hold your breath. Keep your eyes open for it, but we're going to be quite busy in the coming month. So I can't say how soon that episode is going to come out, but we're definitely going to be working on it, and we're really excited to be able to show you the entire thing. But we really hope that you enjoyed this series of hearing snippets of each of the songs, what it was like picking these songs, what we love about these songs, the messages in these songs, and that you enjoyed the 2 songs we had for today, Even If I Stand Alone and Shoulder to Shoulder tracks 1 and 7. But we look forward to the next time. But if you enjoyed it, if you enjoyed the series, or you enjoyed this episode specifically, or if there's something about these songs that you love, if you've been listening, please leave us a comment. We'd love to hear, how you're feeling about this, and leave a like, subscribe, and share.
Leave a comment.
Yeah, leave a comment and share. Oh yeah, and turn on the notification bell if you would like to be notified for whenever we do a video. But thank you all so much for being with us. This has been the Chitans, a little bit of everything. Bye!